G'day everyone, how we going? We're back. Sorry it's been a wee while, I got a bit crook for a while. Had a hell of a cold, I'm still getting over it now, but we're back. Yeah, been an interesting week. We've got tailing all finished up, well, still with the lakes to do. And there's we hogger lambs, but the main line was done. Our numbers are back, we've got 3,000, about 3,075. We're hoping for about 3,200, but that's the result of snow and a week of rain and then a flood during lambing. So all in all, not too bad. Got to say the girls did pretty well. Just sort of focus on getting this young grass in now. We've got that 12 hectares in. There's still another about 11 to go. 2 paddocks. Both got a bit of a wet spot in them, so we're just holding off till it dries out properly. Sorry, still feeling a bit crook. So I'm just trying to get the drier areas ready to go. And we've got a bit of rain coming on Sunday. Hopefully after that we will be good to get into it and get her sown out before the 1st of November. Fingers crossed. So this is where the cattle were on crop. It's a bit tight, must admit. I ran a subsoiler through it, a James 5-leg subsoiler aerator thing about a week ago, not quite a week ago, and it lifted it nicely, got rid of the compaction that's created by cattle. But I went to sink the discs into it yesterday and they went in about half an inch. So we're in here with the grubber now, that thing, and we're just turning big slabs into big clods, which we will then be able to work down. Yeah, joys of it. But we'll get there, It's one thing, the sheep don't have anywhere near the effect on crop ground that cattle do. The sheep you can just about get away with sinking a set of discs into. But we do put the grubber through just to open it up a bit underneath, let it air out, and just sort of, yeah, there'll be no big compaction with sheep, but just to try and alleviate anything that's there. Yeah, so sorry, I haven't really got a lot of footage of tailing. It was wet and it was cold, and we were in a hell of a hurry to get it all done, so yeah. We didn't wind up tailing on Friday, so they wound up having a few breakouts somewhere else, which I hope doesn't happen here tomorrow. And had to go back on Friday to tidy that up, so that was alright. So yeah, tailing tomorrow. I might not get too in depth with that because it's a group of young guys. I'm not sure if they want to be on camera. I might, if I get a chance, I'll chuck the drone up over the top and we'll have a look. But yeah, just got to watch people's privacy and all that. I'll ask them and see what they reckon, but yeah, I don't think it'll be much of a happening thing. So today we're just boxing everything up. I've got a fair bit of done already, but yeah, just putting 4 or 5 paddocks into one. They want mobs of 300 to 500 lambs, which is not too bad. We're happy enough at that. So that's exactly what they get. So here we go. These are just the last wee ones running to join that mob over there. So that is going to be triplets and terminal twins. So these are the triplets heading through now. There's not many threes left in them with the weather we had, but that's the joys of it. Another mob heading down through. So this paddock and that paddock are all going to get tailed on that paddock because they are horrible paddocks to muster. Here's me wee hogget up here. This is the one we knew was in land. She's going to stay behind. Yeah, there's a reason she's so huge. We knew she was in land, so we looked after her really, really well. Sorry, I think I need a new phone. Yeah, this one is just shocking. We've never had success in here. So we just put them down on that one, and that's a flat square paddock. It's easy enough. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go, Slim bringing the last 3 down. We've got a few coming back to the gate. Hopefully this doesn't end too badly. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to get those 2 from behind there, but if we miss them, we miss them. It's not the end of the world. Now, what's going to happen here? They're going to behave. Here, Slim. Here, Slim. Shouldn't do this, but I'll try. Let's see what happens with the dog. Here, Slim. Here, Slim. Slim. Here, Slim. Walk up. Walk up. He's just not very sure because, look at that. We made it. Good boy, Slim. Here, Slim. Here, Slim. Come in. Come in. Woohoo. Second last one for the day. They're ticking away through there quite nicely. It's a nice wee steady string of sheep coming down. I'm just going to get around the camera there. And just ticking along. Yeah. yapper down the side, and let's see what happens here now. Pearl, away! Away! So they're trying to knock them through now. Away! Perfect. Hold on. Right then, time to get these two off and get these two on. Let's go get into it. So just coming up here, we've got a oyster catcher with her nest down there. I did very nearly flatten it. I had seen it the previous pass and saw her and went, oh crikey. But thankfully no, we saved it. I've managed not to flatten any yet this year. We had some pied stilts, some other crazy wee critters out there too, and yeah, we can afford to leave a wee miss in our paddocks for them, especially the natives. They're quite cool wee critters, they don't do any harm, and like I say, they're natives, so we sort of need to protect them a bit. But if you're driving past the farm and you see a whole lot of little square misses in the young grass paddocks, that is why. Oh, we're back doing this again this morning, coming up quite nice down there compared to over there. So I'm not going that fast because the old mech's still on the front down there. It's dangerous that. And discs at the back. We're just running a wee bit more cut here to try and work it down a bit more. So yeah, just going a wee bit slower. Right here, we've got 3 little oyster catcher chicks. I say little, they're getting pretty bloody big. But yeah, always good to see. Must be 15 of these things now in these crop paddocks, including the ones to be born yet, which is pretty cool to see. Sorry guys, she's just going to be a tractor video basically, but that's what we're doing at the moment. So here's the wet spot down the bottom, it's drying out quite nicely. But will we get up here this time? Let's see, eh? Discs in the ground, quicker up again, diff locks, and up we go. I'll try and keep the phone level the whole way up and we'll get an idea of how steep it is, because these phones don't do hills any justice. We're going to get there. I hope we're going to get there. Ooh, we're getting steep. 13% wheel slip. 14. No, we're going to fly up. 16, 18. Easy as big girl. Now I'll ease the phone back to level as we come over the top. Just like that. Bingo. So our 4 mils of rain that we're supposed to be getting tonight's turned into 15, which is not ideal, but it'll be right. But yeah, I don't want to touch this until we've got a couple of dry days ahead of us ready to go. If I run the discs through that now, or the grubber or something, it's not very wet at all. It'll dry out quite nicely, but I'm concerned that if we get 15 mils, it'll get wet again. Well, it will get wet again, but head back up the hill again. Anyway, yeah, it'll dry out far faster as it is. Then it will. This is quite hard doing this one here. Then it will start working it down. But yeah, so what we're doing here, so I've dissed it twice in theory. I did it once, but as you can see, the wee passes are pretty narrow, so we call it double disking. Overlap each pass by 50%, straight up and down. And then this time I'm going on a bit of an angle. Well, I hope we get up here this time. Going on a bit of an angle to try and just, the discs are quite good at throwing dirt around, and we're gonna get there, girl, we're gonna get there. You always move slightly uphill, so each pass is above the last, and that just helps to fill the wee furrow hole in that we're leaving and not make big ridges and try and level the paddock off a wee bit. So yeah, I don't like doing a lot of heavy cultivation on steep faces. We don't put the big rubber in there, we don't put the subsoiler in. We just use the discs to open her up. We keep the cattle off the steep faces on crop 2 more I had. They go on flat ground. Yeah, and then we just give her a scratch up with these discs. And then I'll run the Dutch arrows over it. So it'll only get work maybe 3 inches deep, max, 3 times. And then the Dutch arrows just sort of pack it down on top. Maybe that big clod crusher thing as well, which doesn't really move a lot of dirt around. Because we don't want to knock the soil off these hills. And the other thing we don't want to do is we don't want it running away. And the deeper you work it, the more likely it is to run off in a rain event. And down we go. I'm going to try and keep the camera level, but it's not going to work because I just want up showing you the roof. But this is going down the hill. That's it there. I know my windows are filthy, but you're not making money out of tractors when you're washing them, are you? One day. We'll get her cleaned up one day. So as you can see, there's a bit of greenery there. Behind the, where are we? There. There's a bit there, and there's a bit over on the hillside. Yeah, so just the more you just sort of move it around a bit and knock the dirt off those grass plants, then they all frizzle up and die, and we can put some new plants in. Well, we run out of traction, or talent, not too sure which one, maybe the latter, but round and round we go for a couple of times. So this is the grass that we sowed the 3rd or 4th of September, I think. With a few weeds coming up in here, nothing too serious, but yeah, I've got to say it'll be okay. Won't be an absolute disaster. You can see there's a few chunks of older grass up there, bit of clover starting to come through, but nothing great. You see down here, see in the rows, there's stuff, but then there's these as well. They will be a problem, but they're nothing the mower won't solve later on. But yeah, so this has been in for, what are we today, 26 now? So yeah, so this has been in for 53 days. Swing around over here, now you can't see much, I don't know what the camera's going to show. There's a nice green tinge over this paddock. This has been in 7 days. Yeah, obviously this is going to be behind this one. I just sort of want to go over a wee bit of this. So going back to our issue around sowing dates, we've got a compulsory sowing date. We've got to have our crop paddocks resown by now. 1st of November, looming very heavily. At this stage I think I'm going to be compliant with that. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. But to do it, I've had to do this one. If I hadn't done this one, there's no way I'd get it all done, because it was just one wee job out of the road early on. So yeah, this one will be grazed before this one, which was only sown a week ago. But I think long term it's going to be problematic. It's a wee bit light, like the sowing rate was bang on, but the grass plants haven't really struck as they should. They're still striking away, which is good, but that in itself causes issues, because when it comes to grazing, you want to graze them. You don't want to graze them too soon because the sheep pull them out of the ground, but you don't want to graze them too late, because then they don't tiller out properly. So that's going to be nice, consistent, that one, even. This one here, not so much. Yeah, so this will probably be back in here in 5 years, trying to sort it all out. But anyway, both of them are in, so it's got to be a bonus. And we'll have plenty of lamb fattening feed come weaning time. Hopefully we'll get these other two in, like I say, the next few days, and they'll be not far away. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons, because they really help get this out to other people. And yeah, we'll see you next time.